Good morning. Today is Saturday. I think it's the second. It is November 2nd. I'm in Corpus Christi, Texas. If you can't tell by the palm trees, making a delivery at the Furniture Row stores here on Padre Island. So, I was talking to my wife the other day, and we were having some problems with car problems with her truck. It's going to take a little bit of money and time to get fixed. And things are a little rough for me right now, money-wise. So I said, well, you know what? Let's I don't know what we're going to do. I bought another vehicle from the guy. I bought a vehicle from this used car lot. Turns out it had a lot of rust on it and had a lot of other issues that I didn't know about at first on the test drive. I found out about them a few months after into the contract. The guy felt bad and said, hey, look, I got another car over here that I happened to be looking at for my wife, and it was $21,000 on it, and it was another Cadillac Escalade. So I was looking at it, and I was thinking to myself, how nice it would be able to get that for my wife. And he saw me looking at it, and he comes out there and he tells me, he says, "Say, look, man, I fucked you around on the Escalade, and why don't I do you a favor and I'll get you that one there at sell it to you for $14,000." And I said, well, I don't have the money to put down right now. He said, don't worry about it. You done bought and paid off enough vehicles with us that I'll waive your down payment and roll it into your other Cadillac. Well, I could use, that would be a nice surprise for my wife. She's done had it rough. She went through a stroke, and she's had a rough life, and so, I thought it was a good deal for her. But financially, can I do it? If anybody looked at my financials right now, they'd say, man, that's kind of committing suicide. Well, maybe suicide's a little drastic. It's kind of, not a smart move. So it leads me to my subject. Most of the things that I've done in my life, I'm 46, have been, not the smartest thing. I've had to learn from making a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes, and you learn from them, and you move on. But I'm a strong believer in some things, and I don't know if I believe these to make them as an excuse for me. And sometimes that's true. Sometimes we make up beliefs in our head and then stand behind them and believe them just to justify some dumbass shit we did. And this could turn out to be, but I believe part of this is true, and I'll explain it to you. If you live by a budget every day of your life, and you live within your means and don't do nothing else. I don't mean go do no crazy buying and, go buy yourself a Rolls Royce just because you got $10,000 and get the payments going and you don't know where the payments are going to come later. Now, that's not very smart. And there's some things that I've done that what? You said that wasn't smart either, what I did? Well, you're right. I mean, some people can say that. That's true. I can already hear people saying it. Well, the shit that you just did isn't very smart either. Look at where you are. Look at how you're dressed. You're a fucking truck driver. Okay? But where I was 10, 15 years ago, borderline homeless, breaking into houses and stealing cars and doing shit like that, well, I'm a far away from that. Okay? My income right now is between $4,000 and $8,000 a month. That's take home. Okay? So that's a big difference. And some of you that are judging me need to think to yourself, I don't make that kind of money. Okay? I still know I ain't shit. I still know I'm at the bottom. I still know, it's more $4,000 than it is $8,000 more often. So what I'm gonna say is this: if you live by a means of and you have a fucking budget, and you budget, and you say, okay, these are only things I can do every month, that's going to be the way you remain for a long fucking time. Okay? That's it. you set your motherfucking self up to stay in that position. That's my part of my belief. The other part of my belief is that if you want to grow, sometimes you got to force yourself. For instance, like exercises. If you do 100 push-ups and that's all you do, 100 push-ups, you don't ever reach for 105, 110. You just do those hundreds and you get up. That's where your body is conditioned to stay. But moving yourself gradually up the scale. Tomorrow I'm going to do 105. I'll do that for a week. Then I'm going to move up to 110, which my fat ass don't do no exercises, but I'm just giving you an example. Then I moved up to 110. 110 is before long, within a few years, I'll be up to 150, 200 push-ups. That's just the way it's going to be. So you're conditioned to be in that area and nothing else. That's it. Me, I'm always reaching for the top shelf, even though I'm only 4'2", which I'm really not. I'm just giving an example. But you constantly reaching up as high as you can every time and reaching for the furthest thing you can get. The things that people say, man, that you're doing a little too much there. You're doing a little too much. You're not committing suicide. I'll just say that. So life is like that. You do the bare minimum. That's what you're always going to be. You're not going to grow. You're not going to go from anywhere from that point on. If you want to have something, you got to get the fuck up and say, hey man, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to have to find a way. You got to put yourself on the line. Now, I don't put my most important bills in jeopardy. My rent, groceries, whatever. I put things that are not as serious, things that I can squirm around about, things I can live without a little bit if I had to. And then those will be the last things I pay. And if I want something new and different, I'm going to go get that. And those things that I got to squirm and pay for, they still putting pressure on me. They're not something I just want to do completely without, but they're still putting pressure on me. So I'm going to find a way now to dig myself out of this hole. I always put something in front of me that I gotta overcome. Now, I don't build no fucking 10 foot, 12 foot wall that I know that I don't have no chance of getting over at all. You gotta be you gotta have yourself some kind of, leeway to get, that it's possible. It's gonna be hard, but it's possible. A lot of people get up every day and go to work at McDonald's. And there's nothing wrong with working at McDonald's. I done worked every fast food fucking place you can think of that's on a national chain. But what I'm getting at is that you get up every day and you put your McDonald's outfit on, you put that motherfucking hat on and go there and where the french fries and hamburgers smell, and you go to work there and you work. And then a year later, you still working there. You ain't advanced. You ain't moved. You ain't even made it to shift leader. You ain't doing nothing because you too comfortable coming in and doing the basics. You too comfortable coming in every day and flipping the hamburger and then saying, hey boss, I'm gone. My shift's over. And walk right back the same route every day. And you do the same old shit. And you live in the same ass fucked up ass apartment. And can't have a goddamn car. You can't do shit. Now, I made a lot of mistakes and I did a lot of things in my life. Okay? Stealing cars. I remember there was a time when I was doing gold teeth, and I was putting gold teeth in people's mouth for years. This is your first video, look me up, Earl Cadillac Hunter on Google, and you'll see some stories about me putting gold teeth in guys' mouth. That same time I was having the little success I was doing dumb shit. I was out breaking into construction sites. I was doing, you would have thought I was high on meth. You would have thought I had a meth addiction or some type of drug issue. I didn't. I stayed completely away from drugs for the signs of being weakness. I stayed away from alcohol for years. There was a time I drank for a while, then I quit. And that, because I saw it was a weakness. The point I'm getting at is that I get up every day and reach a little further than what I have so that I grow. And because I've done that, I've seen growth. And that's what you got to do sometimes too, is, you can't be down on yourself all the time. You can't say, God damn, I'm always struggling. It was struggling is living. You living, you're growing. It's, what do they call that shit? Growing pains. So you tomorrow you set your goal for something a little higher. Then the next week you set it for something a little higher than that. And you keep doing that shit until you get where you want to go and start. And the best thing to do is to step back after a while and go back and look at where you are. Go back and visit that ass apartment you was living in. Go back and look at the damn neighborhood you lived in before. Look at your past. And I hear people complain all the time about how rough they got it. My daddy left my mama. My daddy left my mama. Ain't this some shit? Okay, that gave you the chance to step up and be the man. That's something that you can say, hey man, I came from not having none of that, and look where I'm at today, wherever it may be. I'm not that far along in life, okay, by far. But I'm a lot farther than some people I know that are even older than me. I'm 46, and I know some people that out here are homeless. I know some people out here on the drugs. I know some people out here that they don't have shit going for them. They doing that same thing at McDonald's. They working the goddamn dog and shake. Or they working the goddamn minimum wage, standing down there in line at the slave labor place, the pay labor place, pay by the day. They standing down there in them line, going to different jobs every day, and been doing it for years, and they made one change, okay? They going in and out of the penitentiary. They sitting in halfway houses right now, okay? Pissing in a cup, having a motherfucker come in and toss your motherfucking joint anytime they want to, looking for whatever. Having your car gone through, you know, and motherfuckers searching your shit. You know, I've been off of parole since 2000 and about 2000. I got my record expunged in 2007. I got my CDL in 2007. You know, I've been driving trucks off and on since 2008. So, you know, I look back at where I was. I remember being in this town here in Corpus Christi, Texas. I was in the Nueces house. It's the Texas Youth Commission halfway house when I was a kid. If you don't have a family to go to when you get out of the program or you get out of the system, and you don't have a family to go to, you don't have foster parents, nobody's going to adopt you. They put you in a halfway house. I was in a halfway house here one time. And I remember escaping from that halfway house one time and had no place to go. I didn't know what I was going to do. I ain't going to lie, it was some scary shit. One of the scariest things in my life is not dying. It's not dying. It's not anything like that. What it is homelessness. You know, I feel like I've been running from homelessness all my life. And, you know, and it's crazy, but that's just one of my things, my fears. So I'm going to do whatever I got to do to stay 2 steps ahead. Right now, I got a wife that had a stroke here in 2011. And I got, she's got a kid that and those are the people that I get up and do whatever I got to do every day for. I suffer from bipolar a little bit and some intermittent explosive disorders, some issues. But you know what? I try to do my best to overcome those issues every day, so I don't have to be on medicines. I stay to myself. I'm gonna start trying to exercise here pretty soon, because without me trying to take care of my health, all of those other things that I'm talking about are fucking kind of pointless. You know, and at the end of the day, you know, you got to do what you got to do so that you can get up tomorrow and fight again. But if you want to do some real growing, reach for some shit that they say you can't have. Do some stuff that they say you can't do. Stop worrying about your limitations and handicaps that you have. Because when you do accomplish those things, those handicaps are another a thing that you are to be rewarded for, because you did it without having your dad in your life. You did it without having your mom in your life. You did it and you came from a rough neighborhood, or you came from the hood and didn't have shit. You did it because you lived in the projects and you had to walk by them knuckleheads every motherfucking day on the street talking shit, fighting, shooting at each other, whatever the fuck they doing. And you did it when everybody was sitting there talking about you was a pussy for not hanging out with them and going to jail with them and shit. You know, you still went and did what you were supposed to do. And that is going to make your challenge worse. Okay, it's kind of like walking. You get up and walk a mile every motherfucking day. Okay? You walk a mile with everybody else every day. Now get up and walk that mile with them backpack full of motherfucking rocks. Put some weights in your backpack. Put some ankle weights on and do the same walk they do. And do the same mile they complete. The difference is you completed it with all them rocks and weights on your back and they didn't. Who's stronger? Who can do more? You stop limiting yourself and stop giving yourself excuses about what the fuck you didn't do and why you didn't do it, and get the fuck up and do something, then, you know, who knows what's going to happen. But to sit there every day and complain about something and you ain't got shit, well, whose fault is that at the end of the day? That's not nobody's fault but yours. You have control over what the fuck you doing. Nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody your boss of your life. Maybe at your job, yes. But of your life, no. You are. You and God. So you got to get up and do something. That's it.